They used to joke the Sherman was a Ronson. Lights every time. Didn't feel like a joke when you were sitting inside one. I was a gunner in an M4 Sherman in Normandy, July 44, a couple of weeks after D-Day. The hedgerows were the problem, those thick earth walls topped with brush and trees, turning every field into a separate little battlefield. You couldn't see much, couldn't move fast, and every gap was a perfect place for someone with a bigger gun to wait. Our crew was 5. Mac, the tank commander Harlan, the driver. Ortiz, the assistant driver, bow gunner Briggs. My loader me, on the gun. We'd been together long enough to know each other's breathing patterns. That morning, we were pushing down a narrow lane with hedgerows on both sides, trying to link up with infantry in the next village. It felt like driving a steel box down a hallway with ambush here painted on every door. Inside the turret, it was cramped and loud even before anyone started shooting. The engine growled, the suspension squeaked, the turret ring clicked faintly with every little adjustment. It smelled like oil, sweat, and old cordite. Max stood half out of the commander's hatch, peeking through his binoculars over the hedgerow tops. I was on the gun, eyes at the main sight, scanning what little I could see of the lane ahead. "Keep it slow, Harlan," Max said over the intercom. "If they've got anything big watching that crossroads, I don't want to roll into it at full speed." "Slow is all she does in this crap," Harlan muttered. "Feels like I'm driving through oatmeal." Up front, Ortiz kept his .3 already in the bow mount, eyes on the narrow slit he had for a view. Everything outside was green and earth and more green. We passed a charred French cart, half buried in a hedgerow. A dead cow bloated in a ditch, bits of someone's fence lodged in a tree from an earlier artillery blast. "Infantry on the left, 50 yards back," Max said, glancing behind us. "We're the nose for this circus." That never made me feel better. We rolled up to a small junction, just a muddy cross lane cutting left and right between more hedgerows. Somewhere beyond, the village. Max signaled for Harlan to stop. "Hold here," he said. "Let me." He never finished the sentence. A flash like a camera bulb went off down the lane to our front, followed by a deep, solid crack. The tank lurched as something slammed into the hedgerow just ahead, showering us with dirt and leaves. The blast rocked the hull. Shot came from 12 o'clock, maybe 2 fields out. Mac yelled, dropping down into the turret fully. "Probably a pack or a cat." "Back us up," I shouted. "Now. Reverse, reverse." Mac barked. Harlan slammed the transmission. The tank shuddered and started backing up, slowly, painfully slowly. The lane felt narrower now. "Gunner, scan front," Mac ordered. "He loaded?" I checked. "Got a pee in the tube," Briggs said, already reaching for another round. "Keep it," Mac snapped. "If it's a Panther, he won't help us." There was another flash. This time, the impact punched the front slope. The whole tank rang like a bell. My teeth clicked together hard enough to hurt. A sharp, metallic smell filled the air. "We hit?" Ortiz yelled. "Glanced," Max said after a heartbeat, voice tight. "No penetration. Don't wait for a third love tap." "Gunner, see anything?" Through the cloudy glass of my sight, the lane ahead was mostly hedgerow shadow. Then, between 2 gaps, I saw it. Just a sliver of dark shape above the earth bank. A turret edge and a long barrel poking through foliage. "Tank front," I shouted. "About 300. Slight right. Turret in the hedge." "On," Mac barked. "That's your cat. Take him." I traversed right a hair, elevated a bit. The reticle settled over that slice of turret. "Up," Briggs yelled, hand on my shoulder to say the round was seated and the breech closed. "Fire!" Mac roared. I squeezed the trigger. The gun kicked, loud enough to blot out thought for a second. The recoil shoved back, throwing hot air and burnt propellant into my face. The view in the sight jumped, then steadied. Through the scope, I saw a round hit just low and left of the turret face. showering sparks and earth. Smoke, but the silhouette stayed. "He's still there," I said. "Ricochet, or just kissed him." Briggs was already ramming another AP round into the breach. "Up!" he shouted, sweat running down his forehead. "Trevor's right, hair higher," Max said, eyes glued to his own view. "He's slewing the gun. He's got us." Another muzzle flashed from their position. The impact this time was different, hotter, lower. The tank jolted, armor ringing. Warning lights flickered for a second on the driver's panel. "Front plate again," Harlan gasped. "Still holding. That all you got, you bastard?" A thin trail of smoke started curling up from a seam in the front, but nothing ignited. Yet. "She won't keep eating those," Max snapped. "Gunner, finish him." I adjusted, swallowed, focused on the sight like the rest of the world didn't exist. The enemy turret was clearer now, the outline of the mantlet visible in the hedge. "On," I said. "Fire," I pulled the trigger. The shot leapt out, the recoil slamming the turret again. In the glass, I saw a round drill into the point where turret met hull ring, just under the gun. A sharp flash, then smoke poured out of the hedgerow hole. The barrel dipped, then sagged. "He's coking!" Briggs shouted. A second later, a different kind of flash lit the leaves, followed by a dull hump from inside their hull. Fire licked through the brush. "Target neutralized," Max said, almost disbelieving. "Driver, keep backing us into some cover. Gunner, scan for more." We reversed into a slight curve in the lane where the hedgerow thickened, giving us a little more concealment. I swept the sight left and right. No immediate muzzle flashes, just drifting smoke over the hedges. Artillery started landing farther up, our side this time, pounding the fields beyond the ambush point. On the intercom, the infantry platoon leader crackled through. "Tank up front, you still alive?" he asked. "Sherman 1-3, still here," Mac replied. "Cat ahead of us is burning." They set up in the hedgerow overlooking the junction. "We're not going back down that lane without a lot of smoke and dumb luck." "Copy," the lieutenant said. "We'll push up on foot along the flanks, see if any of his friends are hiding." "You did good." Inside the tank. Did good. Didn't feel like much. My hands were still shaking. My ears rang. There was a crack in the mantle paint, a few inches from the sight housing. Fresh and bright where a round had spalled. We were one bad angle away from being a bonfire in this lane. Briggs slumped back against the turret wall, breathing hard. "Thought we were dead on that second hit," he said. "Still might be," Harlan replied. They like to work in pairs. We stayed in that lane another hour, engines idling low, scanning for movement, helping the infantry with the occasional he round when they found a stubborn machine gun nest. Later, after we finally pulled back to a farmyard being used as a temporary logger, I climbed out and looked at the front of our Sherman properly. 2 clean scars on the glacis plate. 1 deep gouge near the bow machine gun. A third mark where something had skipped. "Damn," one of the other tankers said, walking up. Pussycats were feeling friendly today. Friendly would be missing entirely, I said. That night, lying on a tarp beside the tank, using my jacket as a pillow, I stared at the underbelly of a low French cloud ceiling and replayed the fight through my head. People like to talk about tank battles like they're chess matches. Sometimes they were. Most of the time, especially in the bocage, it felt more like 2 blind men in separate closets, firing shots through the door and hoping yours went through the right spot first. What stuck with me from that lane wasn't killing a Panther or surviving in a Ronson. It was the moment I saw that turret edge through my glass, knowing he was looking for me too, and understanding that whoever made the better tiny adjustment in the next 2 seconds got to tell the story later. That day, in that muddy little hallway of earth and hedges, it was us. But the steel on our nose made it clear. The margin between we did good and we didn't get out was about an inch of armor and a few inches of aim.